All right. What is up, traders? What's up, tycoons? Super excited for today's video. We're going to go over FUBO and we're also going to take a look at Palantir, right? Now, what we're experiencing is some gamma squeezes here currently, right? And there still is potential that these things have more room to run to the upside. I'm going to explain what the gamma squeezes are, okay? Just so you guys understand what that is. We're going to take a look into that. Now, both of these companies reported earnings really recently and have popped very nicely. And I'm going to explain, where the potential is for further moves to the upside. Now, please remember, CPI is going to be coming out tomorrow at the time of this recording, and that could throw a whole entire wrench in all of this. All right. If CPI comes in super hot, we may see a lot of the market move down, and FUBO and Palantir could be a part of that. All right. But you want to keep these two on your watch list. Remember, none of this video is financial advice. Rather, this is just free information that I'm putting out for you guys. Okay, trading in any type of stocks is very risky and involves a significant risk of loss. So keep that in mind. Be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. We'll go ahead and jump into it now. And so we're over here on Thinkorswim, and we can see this is Palantir here to the left. Huge explosion up today. All right. We had it was after hours. Okay. And things pulled back. And we actually got 100%. Our plays ran up over 100% on Palantir, and this was after earnings, guys. We didn't, gamble and bet if earnings on Palantir is going to go up or if it's going to go down. We actually got into the trade. If we take a look, we got into the trade at 10:11 a.m. All right. And by 10:30, the plays were already 100%. And the reason that this was on my watch list was because of the option chain data, right? There was a lot of open interest. If we take a look here for Palantir, and we look at May 12th expiration, which is in 3 days, and you take a look here at the open interest, okay, we can see an extremely large amount at the strikes here, basically between 7 up to about $10 on Palantir, okay? And I'll explain why this is significant a little bit more in detail. We also saw something very similar here on FUBO, right? If we look at FUBO, reported earnings went up big, formed a nice bull flag here, okay? So we do have a little bit of a chart pattern, right? We have a bull flag here, and we got a breakout, continued push upwards. If FUBO is able to hold above $2, that could be very significant, right? And we'll actually go into it real quick and take a look at the option chain for FUBO as well. If we take a look and type in here, FUBO, we can see that the open interest, again, is extremely high for the $2 strike expiration, right? So we see here these 1.5s, there was 11,000, and now there's 12,000 at the $2 strike price, right? If we take a look at the next expiration, May 19th, there's 20,000 open interest. Remember, an option contract, specifically a call option contract, is a contract that enables you to buy 100 shares per option contract at the given strike price, right? And so what a gamma squeeze is essentially when the price of the stock goes above those strike prices, market makers are forced to hedge themselves, right? Because what if there's not enough retail or institutional traders or sellers of FUBO to actually sell you 100 shares per each option contract for all those 11,000, 12,000, and 21,000 option contracts, right? So what market makers do is they go in and now they purchase the shares. So that way, if the contracts do get executed, then they have the shares to give to the people who want to execute the contracts, right? And essentially, that's what a gamma squeeze is going to be. It's very popular, and it's what happened with AMC and GME on top of the short squeezes. Now Palantir was in FUBO both have a lot of short interest, okay, especially heading into earnings, and we saw a very big dramatic move. Now, to make things a little bit easier for you guys on a visual sense, there's this really great website, optioncharts.io. I definitely recommend it. They're not a sponsor or anything. It's just a great resource that I use, and you can see the option open interest for different stocks by expiration. And again, if we're going to start off here with FUBO, if we look at the FUBO, look at how many call options there is compared to the puts, okay? If we look at the put to call ratio, it's at 0.29. That's pretty bullish, okay? That means that there's about, 3 put options being held for every 10 call options. Put options are bets that the stock is going to go down, and call options are bets that the stock is going to go up. So we're seeing a large amount of call options versus the amount of put options, right? If we take a look, we have 27,000 call options and 7,845 put options for this May 12th expiration date. Now, these are about to expire very soon. Again, if these $2 strike price call options go in the money, market makers are going to be forced to hedge themselves and actually purchase 100 shares per every option contract potentially. So that way they can go ahead and have the liquidity and have the shares ready in case people want to execute those option contracts by expiration date, right? And if we take a look here at May 19th, we can see something very similar, right? We're seeing a very large amount of option contracts at that $2 strike price for FUBO, okay? We're seeing 21,000 call options and only 2,435 put options. We take a look here, the put to call ratio is about 0.41. Now let's look at Palantir, right? We type in PLTR and we can see some very similar things, okay? We're seeing very high, essentially option call options. And, if we look at the May 7th option expiration and we zoom in a little bit more on this, all right, we have the 7.5. There is a lot of call options here, okay? We take a look here at the $8 strike and the 8.5 and the $9 strike, and these are all very high. Now, the price is currently above all of those, right? So really what made me want to get into Palantir on the pullback was, not only did we show a little bit of strength, but I knew that if we were going to be able to get above $8, $9 and stay above there, we're going to start seeing some gamma squeezes, and market makers are potentially going to be hedging themselves and purchasing shares because we have a super high amount of call open interest at the 7.5, 8, and 8.5, and also the $9 strike price, right? And sure enough, we saw a very strong push up even after earnings, right? If we take a look from the open to the highs, that was about a 9% move, guys. Now that's significant, okay, because the stock was already up massively from earnings, right? If we take a look from where we closed yesterday up to today's highs, that was 24.67%. So a really big and dramatic move. Something very similar with FUBO, right? We saw the initial push and then the squeeze. And what happened was the next day, that $1.5 strike price, right? There was a lot of open interest there. And so what happened was we ended up opening up above that level, and market makers were forced to hedge themselves and start purchasing shares, and that causes what's known as a gamma squeeze. So there still is potential for more of a gamma squeeze if FUBO can stay above that $2 strike price, and if Palantir can really get above $10. If Palantir can get above $10, then we have the chance of seeing a gamma squeeze, right? If we take a look at the May 19th expiration for Palantir and we take a look here, we see a large amount here at the $8 strike price and also the $9 and $10 strike price here. So, really, really interesting. We have over 20,000 contracts for both the 10 and the $9 strike prices on Palantir, and these contracts expire in 10 days. So if Palantir is able to hold above $9, $10 over the next coming days, there is that chance that we could see more of a gamma squeeze in Palantir. So let me know in the comments down below which one you think has the most potential. Is it Palantir? Is it FUBO? Do you guys think these stocks are going to reverse immediately and that all of this is one big bull trap? Let me know your thoughts down below. All right, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm actually going to be going deeper into FUBO and Palantir and dropping individual videos most likely tomorrow, if not the next day, going over some of the fundamentals and actually going over a detailed technical analysis covering some of the key areas and levels that I'm paying attention to personally. So if you're subscribed, you won't miss those videos. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you do subscribe so that way you don't miss out on those videos in the short future.